Okay,
What
let's
was the
go ahead.
last year Sega produced a console?
1999.
No.
The last console they produced was Dreamcast.
No.
All right then. All right.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong here, but
Well,
according
I could
to
be wrong, but your no is the most definite fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. No. No.
You said
No. No.
1990 and I had 2002.
I said 1999. No, the Dreamcast was kaput in 2002. No. Welcome to episode 4, season 2 of Press Any Button to Continue. My name is Keith, the boy who believed he could run faster than the blue blur if he mastered the style of Naruto running. And I'm joined by my co-host Nisha, who reads Sonic erotic fanfiction to wind down at the end of a hard day's work. You may have guessed it, but this week we'll be talking about a character who spawned a whole generation of furry enthusiasts and put Sega on the map with their super blast processing power. That's right, we are rolling around at the speed of sound and discussing the many incarnations and generations of Sonic the Hedgehog. Grab your knuckles, squeeze your Eggmans, and fluff them tails. This is Press Any Button to Continue. Nisha, my darling, welcome into our... This is the first episode in a while that we've dedicated to a singular cause.
Yeah, it is. Since episode 3, I think, is it?
I think so, yeah. And even at that, not as singular as Ocarina of Time specifically, more of a character.
Yeah.
And we don't know what's going to happen. The audience is in for an unusual time, probably most likely. But I mean, that is kind of on brand.
Yeah, it is. It's to be expected at this stage, I think, man, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like, it would be a disappointment if anything else happened, but just
if it was like a calm, normal, and factual podcast, people would be like, "What's this shit like?"
Yeah, I mean, sure, you can look up Wikipedia for that, you stupid folks.
But how are you today, man? It was another fantastic intro. Sorry, I know I say it all the time, but I fucking love the intros, man. I do. Like, so fluffing your tails, and that was pretty clever, man. It's pretty clever.
It is, and I also like realized, because I was thinking about like what I just do when I sit down to write. Is like, okay, what is Sonic to me? I think about him running. I think about the arms, the flailing arms behind. You know, like gotta go fast. You know, the arms going past. You can't not like. I mean, Sonic is very much so some large contributors of the idea of furryism amongst gaming communities. I mean, he's been a hot, sexy character for a long time, and people like his cool edge. You know what I mean? That has to be on in there as well.
Yeah, like the whole thing about Sonic was being cool in the 90s, wasn't it? You know, the whole console wars. So it was all about he had the cool edge. Like, Sega was going for the
blast processing.
Yeah, and aiming for like the older people, like teenagers and stuff like that, and fucking as opposed to Mario being geared towards younger kids. Like
there is that. You ever hear that going around? Like there's there's like the toxic music. Mario's for babies, and you're not a real gamer if you like Mario. Do you ever hear that shit? Like, say, go on there, you boy, go on, have another wank in your room. Fuck off.
Oh man, but tell me this. What's your earliest memory of Sonic, or playing or gaming with Sonic?
Like, I have the memory that's most solid in my brain, but I'm not sure if that's the first one.
Right.
I feel like in my memory, I always was aware of Sonic. I can't remember not being aware of the character, because for me, and like this is like a solid statement on my fact, I think Sonic is one of the best IPs ever created in terms of a character design, in terms of like, the idea of he's a hedgehog that goes fast, in terms of like his just like, particularly the retro design, his stocky, he's kind of got the fat belly, he's got the red shoes. I think that's just like, from a design point of view, when you talk about something that's simple, that's effective, I think from an artistic point of view, his character design is fairly unmatched, and is actually one of the solid reasons that he's even alive today, even through some dodgy games. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the personality, it's the character. People fight harder for Sonic than they do for Mario, even though Mario is more of maybe a universally celebrated game. Like, people would like die on the Sonic hill. Yeah. But my first memory, I think, was the Sega Mega. I was over at a friend's house, and it was funny. Someone wrote today, I was talking in stream about about, oh, we're not prepared for today. Do you know, I was saying we don't know what we're going to talk about. And said, don't worry, sure, just say Sega Mega, and Nisha will have a good chuckle for about 20 minutes. You'll be grand.
I love it.
I was getting a lot of burns as well. People were like, just talk about being in Spain playing Sonic. You know, they were really getting into the nitty gritties of it, which is lovely to hear because it just means they're listening intently. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, true, very true.
So going over, playing the Sega Mega, and just seeing, I think it was Sonic 2 I was playing, and I was playing as Tails or something, you know, which is basically like, you might as well not even be in the house. You might as well go home playing as Tails. You're off screen somewhere. But my first real memory, which was a super exciting time for me, it's one of my best gaming memories, is I was in 3rd class, so I must have been 8 or 9. And essentially I was like, it was my birthday, and I was waiting, and I was like, oh my God. Like I said I wanted a Dreamcast. Yeah. Which is kind of a weird thing for a 9-year-old to ask. You know, with all the other shit around. Yeah. Because I was like, I think I was getting the Sonic the Hedgehog magazines, the cartoon magazines, the Archie comics.
Oh, yeah.
So I started actually getting in through that, which was kind of cool. And I was like, I have to have Sonic Adventure. He's like, I need the Dreamcast. So I remember waiting, and it was my birthday, and my dad was really late, and I was like, oh my God, please, like... And then I remember like feeling I was going to start crying because I didn't think he was going to come home with it. And then he came into the room, and he did that dad thing where he's like, how are you getting on? And I was like, I think, what's happening? He's like, all right, so well, I'll chill out for the night. You know, he was ripping the piss out of me, you know. And he's like, but there's a Dreamcast in his fucking boot of the car with Sonic Adventure. But he was playing it up. He's like, sure, Jesus, we'll get you something down the line. Do you know this kind of? I was like, but I can't do it. I wanted it today. You know, like waiting. Sure, then a Dreamcast popped out, Sonic Adventure, threw it on, and you know, when you were over, we were playing the start of Sonic Adventure, you know, open your heart! That song came on. I got to play like 10 minutes of it because I had to use my parents' TV, and we turned it off, and I brought the case into school the next day, showing everyone the manual, being like, oh, fucking Sonic. And that would kind of be my first... Dreamcast was probably like my real first memory, my personal memory. I wasn't aware of Sonic through comics, through people having the Sega Mega, that whole lot, but that was kind of my first. What about you?
Oh man, that's very wholesome. That's a really nice story, man. That thing about you know, your dad coming in and pretending, and you know, that kind of, it's just nice, man. That's fucking nice. That's deadly. My earliest memories from Sonic is being up in my cousin's house in Belfast. So they always had Sega stuff up there. So they had like the Sega Master System and the Sega Mega Drive and the Sega Dreamcast. But I do remember playing the Sega Master System and the Sega Mega Drive up there. And just, I can remember specifically, you know, the bonus stage in, I think it's Sonic 2, where you're running in like a half pipe.
No. Oh, yeah, sorry. So the first one was where you're on the globe and you had to like go right and
you're
left
spinning
and right
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you had to break through. Yeah, to get the Chaos Emerald. Yeah, that was a really cool bonus stage. But then, there's the one where it has to be Sonic 2 because Tails is in it. And you're running along the half pipe and you have to jump over the bombs and get the certain amount of coins. I mean, I fucking love that shit, man. And I can remember like being really obsessed with getting to the bonus stage in each level, and that's one of my earliest memories.
Sonic 2 is just like such a good game. Like I really need to revisit them. Like I want to now. They released Sonic Origins, which was like a pack of the kind of original games again, but it was too pricey, and they tried to somehow put like microtransactions in it. I don't know how that works. So that kind of was a bit of a downer. But I mean, I have Sonic Mega Collection on the GameCube, and I'd love to go back to them. Do you know what I mean? I really want to play them. And speaking of like, because there's the lovers for the 3D Sonic games and the 2D, and they're both still alive. Yeah. So like, there's, have you heard of Sonic Mania?
The one that came out on like the Switch.
The one Switch, Xbox, and PS4. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I have it. I played it.
Yeah, amazing.
Fucking brilliant game.
Like, and it was made by fans. That's what it was made. It was made by fans, and then Sega picked it up, and they were like, "Make the game for us."
No way!
And that's the highest rated Sonic game in decades. Not made. It was just produced by Sega, but it was a fan project that turned into what it was. So you can very clearly tell that the people who love Sonic so much are nearly more passionate about what's authentic to Sonic.
Oh man, I didn't know that. That's so cool, man. Oh my god. That's fucking deadly, isn't it? And the fact that they actually, Sega went to them and said, here, fucking make this game.
I even think it was the other way around. Like, I think Sega, because people were there's a lot of people now making ROMs of games, their own versions of them. And they're actually, some of them are more I'm not saying more talented, but are more creatively inclined to what makes an authentic experience as the user, right? So,
Yeah.
like they played Sonic for 20 years. I know what Sonic should be. Maybe people who are just trying to make, because Sonic sometimes, unfortunately, in this day and age, gets made very much so for a money push. It's like this game has to be out by Christmas, and there's a lot of recent games like Sonic Boom, which came out in the Wii U in 2012, was an unfinished like mess just to bring it out, and they know it's going to make money at Sonic, and that kind of tarnishes it over time. So to see the fans come out and like, this is what we want as a Sonic game, and for it to be a massive hit was like,
that's so cool,
crazy.
man, isn't it? That's so cool. It was a really like retro feel about that new game. Like, it was all based off of it, or was it? I'm fairly sure it was all like, there was older levels. It was like Green Hill Zone,
but they were all remade in the sense that like in a new engine for it. So like they had like, if you compare the actual sprites of Sonic and Sonic Mania to the original one, it's like it's all touched up and it's nicer looking, but it still obviously is a 2D pixel, like, beautiful game. That game is gorgeous, man. Holy fuck.
Yeah, it's a really cool game. I was doing some research, and one thing that I learned that I never, like, I know, remember you had mentioned about kind of always not realizing the difference between the Master System and the Mega Drive, or the Genesis, and it's the 8-bit version that was out prior to the Mega Drive, But
the 8-bit version actually came out after Sonic, I found out, didn't it?
Yeah, that's what I just found out. Well, they all came out in 1991, so there was Sonic the Hedgehog for the Mega Drive, for the Master System, and the Game Gear.
Because it's funny, because in our top 10 games list, you put that 8-bit version as your number 10 or something. And I was looking back on that, and I was like, I was really trying to think to myself, and then I was kind of looking it up, and I think it was like almost a ported version to the old system, kind of, right?
Really, really good game. Like, I love it. It has that overworld map state, or that not overworld, but that map indicator. When you complete a level, you go on to the next, and it kind of shows you, like in the likes of Golden Axe or Super Ghouls and Ghosts, when you complete a level, you have the little map. It's something that stands out for me in that game. But yeah, I only realized today that they all came out in 1991.
It's crazy.
I didn't realize. It's crazy, isn't it?
Do you say as well in that game there's the Janet Jackson song?
Yeah, that's sampled.
Okay, every time. Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, man, it's really cool. That was kind of the first Sonic, and it was all about, Sonic was kind of specifically made to rival Mario. So that was the main goal.
In like an edgelord capacity, do you know? It was like in almost like too cool for school. Or, the classic whatever, Sega does what Nintendo don't, or whatever.
Yeah,
you know,
that's the console wars of the 90s.
It was Blur versus Oasis. It was that.
Yeah,
in that kind of way.
Yeah.
But, that same kind of band contrast was Nintendo and Sega at the time. Yeah. And it's funny to think that like Sega, made consoles, do you know?
Yeah.
They're gone.
Yeah, it's such a shame, because like I love the Master System. I love the Mega Drive. The Sega Dreamcast, like I do enjoy it. I don't have an awful lot of experience with it. Like I do have one, and I've played the odd few games. Like fucking Crazy Taxi. I love Crazy Taxi.
Jet Set Radio is a good one as well.
Yeah, and one that I'm very curious about is Shenmue. I've heard that it's so good, man.
So good.
And yeah.
I streamed it a while, like a bit of a while, because you can get it on PlayStation and Xbox. Cool. 1 and 2 for like a tenner. The voice acting is hilarious.
Is it? Yeah.
Oh my god! It's like there's like an 80-year-old child, and he's like, "Hello," and it's just like, "Where do I go?"
Yeah.
Oh, but where? You want to have some chips? Like, I swear, like, in that, it's like, it's worse than Kung Pao, and Kung Pao is intentionally bad.
Oh, fucking brilliant,
It's beautiful, though. Like, it's...
Now I want to play it even more.
Oh, please play it. And if you want to play it on original hard drive, I'll send it fucking over to you.
Oh, yeah, but, that'd be class, man.
Shenmue is fantastic.
Yeah, oh, man, I've heard. And I heard, one thing I heard is that there's an actual arcade you can go in, so there's games within the game. Is that right? There's an arcade you can go in.
It's the first realized like world. Like, it has time of day. You have a watch. It goes daytime, nighttime.
All right.
You have a schedule to be where you have to be.
Yeah.
You have a city to traverse, people to talk to who do work and at different times of the day. Then there's an arcade machine where you can play all the old Sega games in there. There's gotcha machines where you have to collect all the Sonic figures in it. There's loads of Sonic figures you collect in it.
Fuck.
And it's incredible. Yakuza then took that model and made it, more modernized, and they have karaoke and all. Like, I can't explain to you. You would. Sorry. I'm not having do you ever have a dream and you never had, and we could always have it, and we dreamed it together. Like, do you
You're
know,
having a moment, are you?
yes, you know when you get so excited about something and you're just like, bleh.
Yeah.
You would love that game after work to sit down and play. Like, you would adore it.
Oh,
It's the
definitely,
perfect
man.
game for that.
Nice. No, I will. I was telling you the other day that I'm doing up a list because you're after going on a mad collecting buzz with retro video games, and I fucking love it, man. But you
Got 5 more today in the
No,
post.
no, you did not. What did you get? What did you get?
That's the end of it though now, because I had like a voucher, one for all voucher card that I was using to buy them, you know, because fuck me if I was spending all that money on it, you know, I'd have to eat and stuff.
Eating's overrated, man. Video games.
Fuck that, boy. Sure, I can be sustained on my fucking Dreamcast. I got Freedom Fighters, which is supposed to be amazing like shooter game that people want a sequel for ages, that my buddy Darren recommended.
Cool.
I got Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, which is supposed to be really
with
good.
that nice hollow. Oh yeah.
I was showing you on stream today. I got Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, because I thought that would be a fun thing to do on stream if I bring people on, get them to answer the questions.
Yeah.
God, fuck, I don't know what I got the other shit. Oh, Trauma Center for the Wii, which is like a surgery game. Some of them I know I'm buying garbage, and some of them I know I'm buying gems, but I want, for content's sake, it's fun.
Mix, man.
Yeah, it's fun to have both. So yeah, I'm hyped about that.
Cool. And come here. So, did you ever have a Sega Mega Drive or a Master System, was your first console the Dreamcast?
Dude, I'm confused still about the Sega Mega and the Master System, because I had this thing, like, it did say 16-bit on it, so it had to be a Mega Drive, but it was like an ugly Mega Drive.
See, now there was different kinds of one. Different kinds of them.
That's what I mean. So like,
I had red buttons on the front of it. 2 red buttons. No,
it had this like bulbous thing that had 16-bit on it. Like, and you like, it was Sonic. Like, it could play Sonic 2 on it.
Right. So it was Mega Drive.
But it wasn't the one. Hang on, I can like.
It wasn't the one that we all know, the Mega Drive Genesis.
Was there like a difference between like the way for the SNES there was like an American and a PAL version?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I have a picture of it here.
Okay.
That I'm looking at, and so just so I can like help me describe it, right?
Yeah.
So it has like almost a mixer volume slider on it.
Yeah.
It has a volume slider on it, and it just says 16-bit on it with a little bit of red, but it's not that good. Fuck. See, I have 2 pictures here, and I don't, obviously people can't see what I'm talking about. I would love to just be able to show you. Look, just Google Mega Drive.
Right. I'm Googling.
If you have a tab there on your computer, if you want, or whatever.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. See, the 16-bit one, yeah.
Yeah, so I had that one. I didn't have the one that said Sega on it with the 2 red buttons that looks way sleeker. I had the 16-bit one.
That's man. I think your one is way better looking. It has that cool fucking ready purple thing.
I have that in the attic somewhere.
No way. So you had one of them. So you were a Sega kid.
Well, I didn't. I bought it. But my friend, we're raising money in school for something when I was in like 4th class, maybe. So after I had my Dreamcast even. And he was selling this for like 50 quid with like loads of games or something. And I was like, oh, I want that. So I got my parents to buy it off him. And then that's the one I had and I took home. I don't know where it is now, but it's definitely around. It's something I'll have to go up and look for. But that's the one I had, yeah. So there was, as you can see there from the 2 images, there was 2 kind of Mega Drives. So I wasn't a Mega Drive kid. The first console I got was a PlayStation, N64, Dreamcast, Xbox, in that kind of order. But yeah, so Sonic, man. Like, I also like watched the cartoon, which I was obsessed with.
How cool was that, man? How cool was that?
And I loved the way at the end, there was like there was 2 cartoons. There was there was the one where at the end of every episode he was like, it would be life lessons where someone's smoking. It's like, Tails, you want a cigarette? And Sonic comes up, it's like, that's not cool, guys. Cigarettes are for losers. Don't smoke at home. And it's like, dun, 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 dun. And then there was like the Sonic Underground. Do you remember that one where they all had fucking guitars?
Yeah,
and had, like,
man.
Cousins and sisters. And there was Sally, who was hot as fuck. She was a furry as well.
Oh man, there's so many cool characters in the Sonic universe. Like, obviously there's Tails. I fucking love Tails, man. Knuckles. Like, how cool was it back in the day when? Do you remember?
He's a fellow ginger.
Yeah, because he's a redhead. He's a man after my own heart. I love Knuckles. But do you remember like how cool it was when? Or do you remember the Sonic and Knuckles like bonus, the fucking booster cart that you could put Sonic 2 in, and then you could play Knuckles in Sonic 2? Do you remember this? No. What?
I have no
Man!
idea about this.
Oh,
What the
fuck
fuck?
off, man, right? So
Swear to
let
God.
me explain, right? So Sonic and Knuckles came out, right? And it's like a cart that you could put another cart on top of.
And is that how it was sold from day one?
Yeah. It came
Or
out
was it
this
an
cart.
adapter you had to get to like fuse the
No,
cards together?
that was the game, as far as I know. That was the game, yeah. Sonic and
Okay.
Knuckles. Alright, fucking now I'm getting confused. But you put that on, you put Sonic 2 into that adapter and put it in your fucking Sega Mega, and you can play Knuckles like back fucking retroactively in Sonic 2. And you could, yeah, man, it was fucking cool. I remember I remember doing it and playing like 2-player again with my cousins. And do you remember I had that split screen, like the top and bottom split screen, and you could run throughout the levels, but you could go back and forth, so you could get lost in one of the fucking levels and you don't know where the other person was.
Were you racing each other when it was in split screen?
I don't remember where you're trying to do.
I feel like the co-op, as far as I see, my early Sonic knowledge is a bit rusty, right? Because like anything from like, you know, if you ask me anything about Sonic Adventure 1 or 2 or anything like that, I'm your man, I can tell you.
Right.
But like the earlier stuff is a little bit vague for me because it was before my time essentially, or well, it was in my time, but I wasn't sentient enough to play them. I was like, titty.
But man, it was very cool. It was the Sonic and Knuckles thing was very cool.
That's class. I'm trying to think as well. Like, did you have a favorite? Okay, out of all the Sonic games you have, do you have a favorite one though?
Yeah, it is the one in the Master System that has that map when you complete the level, because that's one of the first ones I remember playing. But I do love Sonic 1 and 2 on the Mega Drive. I actually only for the first time ever went back and played Sonic the Hedgehog on the Sega Mega Drive and completed it for the first time ever, right? And guess what happened, man? I'm such a fucking dickhead for doing this, right? So, I was playing Sonic the Hedgehog on the Sega Mega Drive. I never completed it before, and I got to the end, and I completed it.
You're like so already giddy about whatever is happening here right now.
So I got to the end, and I'm a fucking idiot. And because I like taking pictures of games and stuff and posting on Instagram.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, right, I'm gonna get a picture at the end, and so I'm gonna like move my controller here in front of the TV, move the box here in front of the TV, and I'm gonna get a nice picture to show that I completed the game. And I obviously like knocked off the console and it froze. I'm a fucking dick.
What a toad. That's Toad 101 there. But I mean, it's that shit's happened. Do you know, I hate the way, do you ever go behind your TV and you have to plug in this HDMI cable, and then your big fucking fat arse like hits off something, and like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, every cable known to man snaps off everything, all your consoles start deteriorating around you, and you're like, there's nothing worse as well. You like go under the table, you like hit your head, and you're like sweating to try and fucking, and you know what? It's like you're trying to finger blast a fucking HDMI port to find which one it is, right? So like you can't see where you're going. You swear there's someone behind the TV moving the HDMI port as a fucking prank on you, like fucking, or like blocking your hand, whacking it away every time.
Yeah.
And just as you fucking lash it in, like fucking someone comes in and says, Kate! And you're like, what? You fucking bang your head, and the fucking whole room burns up in flames, and you're just like, fuck it, I'm done. You throw everything on the floor. You go out, you have a fucking whinge, and you realize you're a fucking man-child and it's over, do you know?
Jesus. I love that, man. It spiraled. I love it.
It's true though. That's the fucking shit that happens, man.
That's very funny. It's like somebody's moving the port, because you're how the fuck can I not find the fucking plug or the fucking port?
And have you ever noticed how much like your body temperature can increase in that short amount of time? You're I was under there for 14 seconds, and it's like you just took a dip in a pool. You come out the other side and you're saturated. Oh my god. There's got to be some fucking fucker with a heart attack doing that. There's no doubt in my mind that there wasn't enough to fucking end a few people.
Dead under his TV with his HDMI cable in hand.
And the creepy mystery of it all was there was no HDMI ports on the TV at all.
Fuck's
Can we get the Goosebumps music in over that, man?
Yeah, well.
Wait, no, that's that was Mulder and Scully, I think.
All right.
Anyway, sorry, I can very tell you're trying to put me back on track, so let's go for it.
So you were asking me what's my favourite game, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And definitely the Master System one for nostalgic. I think the best Sonic game, if I could say the best one, is Sonic 2 on the Sega Genesis. But man, like that art, that fucking artwork, and they used it for the second movie again, man. The big 2 with fucking cool. Robotnik ominously looming. Oh man, how fucking cool is that artwork? Just the Sonic artwork from the 90s, man. it just fucking gets me. I fucking love it, man. It's so
no,
good.
and I really love, like, obviously as a young 10-year-old, I loved like the edgy look Sonic, but as I got older, I way prefer the retro look. Like, I love the way he's kind of a chonk, kind of like, you know, and it makes more sense for him fitting into a ball and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But some fun Sonic lore for you.
Yeah, hit me.
Knuckles. What is Knuckles?
The echidna.
Do you know what an echidna is?
No.
It's an animal that has 4 penises.
Fuck off.
4 penis heads.
Is that what's
Knuckles is rollicking and rolling on in there. 4 penile heads.
Are you serious? Is that what an echidna
swear my
is?
fucking life. Swear
and
my life.
That's why he has the 4 knuckles in his hands. They have dick hands.
Maybe that is maybe that's part of it. But I felt you needed to know that.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. That's pretty interesting. Because what is he though?
Yeah, 4 dicks.
He just looks like he looks like a Sonic, a Tails. He looks like a Hedgehog.
Do you know what fucking pisses me off as well, right? You know what really grinds my gears in the Sonic lore? You play something like Sonic Heroes, which when I got as a kid, I was in denial about for a while. That game is a bit rough. And they're all keeping up with Sonic. What's the point of Sonic being so fast if Tails and Knuckles runs as fast as Sonic?
That's a very good point. Good point.
I was, since a young age, I was a stickler for this shit because I like embodying the role play of being the fastest blue blur in the world. But when fucking that little fucking Todger Tails is fucking slapping up next to you, and then fucking Knuckles on your right, you're like, what's the fucking point? Where are we going, lads?
That's a good point. Remember we were talking about, like, why does Tails fly a plane if he can fly, and why does
we actually didn't talk about this on the podcast, by the way. This is only in when you were playing Sonic Adventure in my house.
Oh, was it? Oh, sorry, I thought we were talking. Oh, yeah.
There's a clip of it of us playing Sonic Adventure, like a video, but we never talked about it on podcast. I don't think.
Right, but why? So Tails flies a plane, but he can fly, and he can pick Sonic up. Maybe if they're going on holidays, like, really far away. If they're going
to Spain.
Yes, love it. Well, come here, right?
And then when they're in Spain, they meet Knuckles. And what's Knuckles like?
He's a fucking 4 dicky echidna.
He's a 4 dicky echidna. He's like, welcome to Spain with my 4 dicky echidna. It's like Sonic and Tails like, yum, yum, yum. I think that Sonic erotic fan fiction is for later.
Yeah, shit. Sorry. But right, I've got it. So I did actually a bit of research here, right, for this podcast. I'm going to go through. I'm going to go through a bit of Sonic history for you here now. Yeah?
It's that Father Ted moment again, where someone goes in the background, Jesus Christ,
fucking hell. Yeah. Right, so we talked about the first Sonic games came out in 91. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to test me? I kind of feel like a bit of a trivia banter going on here.
Do you have some? I have some questions.
Okay.
Right. So here, I'm gonna hit you with a Sega question.
What
was the last year? Now, this is off Wikipedia.
I'm excited.
So
I'm so excited. Okay.
What was the last year Sega produced a console?
1999.
No.
A console. The last console they produced was Dreamcast.
No.
All right then. All right.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong here, but according
I could be wrong, but your no is the most definite fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. No.
1990 and I had 2002.
I said 1999. No, the Dreamcast was kaput in 2002. No.
Right. What was the first year that Sonic came to Nintendo?
Oh, it was I think it was Sonic and Mario at the... Oh, wait, okay. Are we talking about Sonic featuring in a Nintendo game, or are we talking about the first...
No, the first Sonic game.
Okay. It was
Nintendo.
Sonic Adventure 2, I think.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be whenever it was a launch title, I'm pretty sure. So it was 2000 and... What was the GameCube release? 2002, 3?
Two. Yeah. Very good, man. Very good.
I was there on the day it was out. So, I bought it. I got it day one. So I got Luigi's Mansion and Sonic Adventure 2.
No way.
Yeah.
Sonic Adventure 2 is a port of the Dreamcast game. Is that right? Yeah.
It's called Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Yeah. What's it like on the GameCube?
It's more like they re-released the first one as well another year later. And that kind of had a little updated model for Sonic, which arguably kind of looks worse because he doesn't look like he fits in the world because they didn't update the textures in the rest of the game, so he's a bit shiny.
All right.
But yeah, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle had a multiplayer mode, which wasn't in... Well, it was an extended multiplayer mode. I think there might have been a multiplayer mode in the Dreamcast one, but this was kind of more levels, more characters, that kind of thing. But more or less the same game, man. The Dreamcast is oddly a beast of a machine.
Yeah.
Like, the Dreamcast plays multi-port games better than the PS2 does.
Yeah.
Like, as in terms of quality for them, because there was a bit of an adaptation. Like, in terms of the PS2, the GameCube, and the Xbox, PS2 is by far the weakest.
Is it really? Yeah.
So when you want to get multi-platform games, you'd ideally want them on a GameCube second or Xbox first, because in terms of the watts of powers they had, the PS2 generally was the weakest machine of the three and would produce, more grainier, like lower resolution, lower frame rate results for the games. I know I'm getting a little sidetracked, but
no, it's all right. So tell me this: why was the PlayStation 2 like? Why did PlayStation 2 kind of win over
DVD?
The Dream?
It's just plain
and
simple.
So, right, sorry. Now I knew that the Dreamcast didn't. The Xbox didn't play DVDs either. It did.
As far as I know, the Xbox plays, but the Xbox came out later. So the PlayStation 2,
right.
PlayStation 2 was first to market with a DVD player. The GameCube opted for no DVD player, which also hurt it. And the Xbox had one, but the Xbox was I think last to market in that gen.
Right.
So they were kind of playing catch up, and also they were the first time they released a console. They had no history behind them. So,
true. Yeah.
As well, but by the time the 360 came out, they were well settled, and I think. The PS2, well, also the problem with the Dreamcast is they were making no money because all you had to do was burn the games. There
was a problem with piracy, wasn't there?
Yeah, huge problem, and they were just screwed. Where PlayStation used those black discs, they had black or blue underneath, and they were harder to burn or something like that. But basically, when you think about it, it was the cheapest. I think it was the cheapest DVD player you could buy. Everyone wants a DVD player.
Yeah, true.
So we get a games console and a player in one. Your parents want to watch the DVDs. You want to play the games. Happy days,
It's pretty cool.
And a lot of people were like, Mom, you want a DVD player? I know you do, get this.
Yeah. That's pretty cool though, isn't it? Like, I do remember I remember again my cousins bringing down a Dreamcast, and it seemed like such a fucking cool machine. Like, had that controller, like with the little memory card that has the fucking Tamagotchi thing. What's the thing called out of Sonic Adventure? The Tamagotchi things, the little animals you can keep. Chows. Yeah, even that kind of shit, man. And then they had like the clear looking. Do you ever see the clear Dreamcast, like the blue one and all? It's so fucking cool, man. It's a really cool looking console, I think.
And it only had such a limited time. I think it came out in 1999, and it was the highest selling console in the amount of time it was out to that point. So
no way.
Think how crazy that is. I think it's so like, and I don't know, it was 600,000 units, and it's like fucking first week or something silly like that. I mean, that's not accurate, or maybe time frame, but it was something silly. And then it was just the PS2 was announced, so it was just like it just really took the wind out of its sails. It's the first console that had it online, which is another kind of big thing. Had an online adapter for it. You could play CDs on it, all right, but and then they had the memory card and all that. It was a very, very cool machine and very important to Sonic.
Man, sorry, I know we're going off topic here, but
we're talking about consoles and Sega and things.
Yeah. Like, well, because I think the way this kind of ties in is Sonic was created to battle Mario and created another form of console wars. And then between Sega and PlayStation again was a console. It was all to do with the console wars. But man, do you ever see that? So they had their say at E3, like Nintendo would have its big announcement of a new console and its price and whatever. Sure. Do you ever see that? Oh fuck, I don't remember which console or which company it was, where someone went up, say PlayStation released their fucking.
I think it was PS4 and Xbox One, was it?
Was it? And he walked up on stage and literally went $299. And then just walked off.
Yeah. I think because I'm not sure about this, but I know there was when Xbox One was announced, they really went a bad way. They tried to do this whole media system thing, and it was 500 quid because it had to be forced to come with Connect, and you weren't allowed to share games. Initially, when the Xbox One came out, it was like, once you get the game, it's a license code. Now, that is reality. Now, they were just too far ahead of their time, And I think PlayStation did this thing where he came out, just stated the price. It was €100 cheaper. And then also, they did this little cheeky ad where they said, this is how you share games with others. And it was an ad where two people come into a room and one person hands the game to the other person and it ends. So, like, because you couldn't, you know what I mean? It was a real kick in the balls. Now, I'm not sure I'm not sure if that's specifically the thing where you say $2.99 is. I think that could be the PlayStation 1 as well. I'm not sure.
I'll find it and I'll send it to you.
Yeah, but there was a similar story with the PS4 scenario.
That's mad, isn't it, man? It's just that whole thing about the console wars is.
And you read a book on that.
I'm still fucking reading it. Like the book is pretty big book, but I haven't been doing any reading in the last while. So, but it's such an interesting book. Like that's where I learned about like Sonic. The initial kind of pitch for Sonic's name was Mr. Needlemouse, and he had like an electric guitar and a girlfriend a human girlfriend whose name was Madonna,
which came back later on having a human girlfriend, which was so creepy.
Really? Yeah. So in what, the Dreamcast games?
No, what is known as the worst Sonic game. Also, kind of very expensive now because it's hard to find. It's Sonic 2006. It's called. It's Sonic the Hedgehog. It was just called Sonic the Hedgehog. Came out in 360 and PS3, and it was unfinished to fuck. Do you remember that?
I had it.
You had it?
It's just called Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Man, I was actually going to talk about this game because I had an Xbox 360.
Infamous.
And I don't know where it came from. And it's like, it was so weird, man. It was so fucking weird.
It was trying to be Sonic Adventure, but the loading times would happen every 30 seconds and be like a minute long.
Right.
It was like you would go talk to someone in the city and be like, and then there'd be a 60-second loading screen. And then you go over to the next place, 60. Oh, it was insane. I watched Game Grumps do a full playthrough of it years ago.
Do you know what, man, though? I have nothing but fond memories about that game.
Here. I 100% want to play it and like go through it, because you had Shadow the Hedgehog and you had Silver the Hedgehog in that one as well.
Oh, cool! Silver was I don't think I've heard of Silver before.
Yeah, he was in that game. He was like a kinetic. You could play as him and Shadow at points, but that game was just so unfinished. Like every Sonic game that came out in recent years, there's like parts of it that are like, this is brilliant, and it's just, but as a cohesive piece, it falls in different areas.
It's mad. Like I haven't played that since fucking 2006, whatever year it came out. Like I can actually remember my bedroom in my granny's house with my fucking PlayStation. I remember because my brother Aiden actually got.
So you were playing it on the PlayStation 3, were you?
Or sorry, no, on my Xbox 360.
Sorry, because I was nearly being like, "Where's that PlayStation 3?"
Yeah. You want the big PlayStation 3?
I'm putting out an alert. If anyone can find me a PlayStation 3 with 4 USB ports in the front, it's backwards compatible, that has one lying around, I'll trade you a Slim and a bit of cash for it or something like that if you want. Absolutely. Let me know. Anyway, sorry for interrupting. Continue.
All right. So I have the memory of my bedroom in my granny's house and playing Sonic the Hedgehog on the Xbox 360. I don't know where it came from. I don't remember buying it. I just remember it being there, and yeah, for some reason, what else is coming into my head is that my brother Aiden got UPC. So we didn't have Sky Digital, we got UPC, and he paid for it to go into my bedroom to get to have my own TV box in my bedroom. And
that's nice of him.
Yeah, I remember thinking, brother Aiden's a fucking legend, man. All my siblings are.
If it was the other way around in my family, it would have been like, I'm taking the box from your ring once it's installed and I'm keeping it in mine and I'll fight you otherwise. We had a bit of a different household.
But man, yeah, I can remember playing the game. I don't remember a lot about the game. Like you mentioned Silver there, I don't even remember playing as Silver, but I do remember playing the game and thinking it was very weird, but again, I really enjoyed it and I completed it. I do remember that. I played it to completion.
Fucking hell, that's serious going, because that game has notorious broken sections.
Yeah, no, I definitely finished it.
Have made people, like, I've watched playthroughs of that game and there is some broken, almost impossible to get through parts in it, which is crazy.
It's mad that I can't remember any of that. Maybe I just thought it was, at the time, I just thought it's a weird game. These are part of this is part of the weird game. Do you know what I mean?
I just have a feeling like, imagine you just in the Matrix thinking you're playing Sonic.
Yeah. Man, so
give me more of your research facts questions.
I bridged through them all there.
Okay.
No, but here, I have some memories, man. I have some nostalgia for you, right, for Sonic, because you know, I got into watching VHS and videos recently, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I found a couple of videos from the attic, and one was from, I think it was my 7th birthday party, yeah, and it was in a place, I wonder if any of our Irish listeners remember this, but it's a place in Dublin called the Fun Factory, and it was in Dunleary, and it was like, had like had slides and ball pools and ropes, and one of them kind of jungle gym places for kids, yeah.
We had something, I think it's called like something monkey here, that was like the similar thing.
Yeah. So this place is called the Fun Factory, and the video, just a video of my birthday, and I'm wearing a Sonic the Hedgehog tracksuit, man, and I'm just the tracksuit's so fucking cool. And then there's also photographs of when myself and my granny went on holidays over to Achill Island, which is off the coast of Mayo in the west of Ireland, which is fucking beautiful, man. There's pictures of me, and again, I'm wearing, but it's a different Sonic the Hedgehog tracksuit, and it has like Sonic written down the leg of the tracksuit, man. And I can remember the tracksuit and thinking, this is the fucking coolest thing ever, man.
It's wild. And you know what? Like, it's so funny how much this podcast is having an influence on my life, because like I told you the story like about running around in my socks running around in my Sonic slippers, listening to the Buffy theme song, punching around the place, and like no fucking joke, like even with like collecting like some Sonic games at the moment, just got Sonic and the Secret Rings on the Wii. I've started watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, like literally, and I don't remember any of it, like because I barely watched it properly as a kid. You know, it was just something that was on in the background. And like I'm 7 episodes deep into that or whatever, and I'm just like, this is fucking amazing. Like me and Emma, it's such a show you can just turn on in the background when you're cooking and stuff. You don't need to pay too much attention, but then we'll watch it on the iPad going to bed, and it's just like, I don't know, man. It's like my life has reverted. It's like I've reverted full all the way back. It's like I've become such an adult that now I'm a child again.
Oh man, that's fucking cool. And you played through Sonic on your Buffy on your stream,
and that's what made me like want to do it, because it came from me playing Indiana Jones, which is a game that I loved on the Xbox. I think that's an exclusive, and then they made another Buffy game, and then I'm playing Buffy, and now I'm going back to Sonic, and it's just, and obviously since we had our retro collecting episodes, I've been fucking collecting them too.
Deadly, man. Oh, that's so cool.
Do you know what though? I was thinking as well, Robotnik and Eggman. Do you have a preferred title between the two, first of all? And I want to talk about his character a little bit.
I do, and it's Robotnik, 100%. I fucking love the name Robotnik.
And didn't we find out a story that Robotnik backwards is something? Does Paddy leave a comment for us in one of the episodes that was like why Robotnik is Eggman, like where the name came from?
He did. Shit, he did. We'll have to find that, man. We'll have to find that.
Can I pause? Well, not pause.
No. You look for it, right? And because you mentioned Paddy, I'm gonna give Paddy a shout out, because
do.
He's known as Game Raider on Game Raider 7, I think, on Instagram, and he's Irish, and he has a few fucking Sonic the Hedgehog time trial world records. Because man, I met him at Gamerfest last year, right, at the biggest video game convention in Ireland, and like we followed each other for years, man.
Sure.
And finally met him at Gamerfest. He's such a fucking nice guy. He's such a gent. He was there with a few of his mates, but he rocked over, right? And he was like, "Oh, well, I was at the kind of hanging out at the Retro Zone, and there was a Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was there on the Sega Mega Drive." And he was like, "Well, I'll see if I can blitz through it." And man, he like fucking blew my mind, man, the way he played through it. And he was like, "Well, I get all 7 Chaos Emeralds," and I was like, "Yeah." And he was just fucking lashing through it, man. And he knows the whole game off by heart, like, and he was blitzing through it. And then what he did, which I have to give him a fucking nod for this, man. So he got right to the very end, and then this other guy wanted to play, like a kind of young guy wanted to play, and Paddy got right to the end and I'm fairly sure this is how it went.
Right.
I'm fairly sure he handed it and let him finish off fucking Robotnik and complete the game. But man, he was fucking rocking. You should have seen it, like how it's mad when you think you're good at a video game, and then you see somebody who's actually good at a video game.
Yeah. You're like,
fucking records.
Like, I should probably reorganize my life thoughts because this is not fucking rocking it, baby.
Oh man, but it was so cool, and it's just cool. You know, when you meet up with, when you talk to someone for years, like me and you, man, we fucking like the first episode of the podcast was the first conversation we ever had, and we've met up. But just meeting them there was cool. There was so many people. There was Alva from Cork, the other streamer. There was. I don't know if you know, there's Andy Tinkerbell, Allcast Irish Gamers, Alpha Fox, Jamie J. Carter. There was loads of people at this convention, man. I think, could you imagine, right? Could you imagine this, right? Come in, listen close.
Okay,
right?
I'm here.
Rate the podcast 5 stars, please.
Oh my god, you did it this time!
It's the ASMR section. Imagine us doing a live podcast.
Do you want me to turn on my echo? Will I turn on my echo?
Oh yeah, go on.
Yeah. Tell me, yeah.
Imagine us doing a live podcast at like a fucking huge video game event.
Oh my god, I could.
We have to make that like a plan.
It would be like, it would be so cool to
It'd
actually
be
be able to
outrageous to even think it.
but to even to have like, even if it was in
That's part
something
of our
like
podcast.
Gamerfest, that would be like, something where you could do like a little podcast, and then you'd also get to meet some of the people who potentially, left us comments, who've interacted with us.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get fucking trending. Press any button to continue for Gamerfest 2023. Get it on in there. Slap your hashtags. That'll be a dream, man. It'll be really, really cool to be able to do it.
But Paddy, fucking gent, I have to give him a mention because I know he listens to the podcast. He likes the podcast. He's a really nice guy. Has a couple of world records for times and stuff like that. And he's a huge Tomb Raider fan as well. But he fucking, man, just seeing him play, like, it was just, oh man, like, you think you're good at a game, and then you see somebody who's like outrageously good at this video game, and the way he played through Sonic 2, man, it was just fucking nuts, man.
It's the equivalent of like when you come home and you're like, Dad, look at my drawing I did, and it's like it's like a brown shit in a page, and then it's like, well, my child actually drew the map of Paris, and it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, and you're like, all right there.
Oh man,
in that time, I came up with some interesting facts about Dr. Robotnik, aka Eggman, right?
Love
so
it.
basically, this is actually really, really cool. So his full name is Dr. Ivo Robotnik, right?
Right.
So, and the idea behind that, apparently, Robotnik is just a Polish word for worker, apparently.
Okay.
But the way it works is there was supposed to be a character called not Ivo Robotnik, but Ovi Kintober, right? Which was him when he was good. And then when he turned evil, they swapped his name. So Ovi Kintober is the reverse of Ivo Robotnik.
No way!
Right?
Deadly.
So that was, it's really, really cool. And then obviously Eggman is, of course, just the nickname that Sonic was giving him based on the fact that he's a nice plumpy egg.
Yeah, that's so good. And here, actually, man, remember I was saying to you, I found out Sonic's real name.
This is funny. Okay, so Sonic, the blue blur hedgehog, is it Sonic? I want to figure, will I be able to figure it out?
I really don't think so, but it sounds like, is it now? This apparently was in, you were saying you were reading those Archie comics, is that what it is?
Yeah.
So this is apparently where his name was first said, the first Sonic.
Is Sonic a nickname, or is Sonic his actual name?
It's not. This isn't it. The name that was released as his real name was, oh fuck, I'm gonna fuck this up, man. Ogilvy Maurice Hedgehog.
Oh, there's not a fucking hope.
No, man. I could be way off. I could be fucking way off.
No, that's right.
But I also heard someone say that his name was Sonic Orenthal fucking Hedgehog. So
see, but there's a lot of lore in the comics, man. There's a lot of people who had like a hand in making the comics, and there was different writers at different times. Right. And like I remember I used to go to mass with my mum every Sunday, and then we get to go and pick a Sonic comic when I came home. So nice. I have like 60 Sonic comics throughout the years. Yeah.
Nice.
And I remember playing Sonic Adventure around the same time, and the comics kind of linked in with the story a little bit, so it was really cool for me. And there was this evil, like there was stuff in Sonic Adventure that never got found out for me. Like there was Metal Sonic. Do you know, like that was, do you remember Metal Sonic?
Because isn't there a Metal Sonic and Sonic the Hedgehog 2?
Possibly, I think it's one of
like
the
a
bosses,
robot.
Maybe. Yeah, well, he's actually the same size as Sonic, and he's just like a kind of evil looking version of him.
Oh my god, sorry, Keith.
Yeah?
I'm just after, something just came in. Sorry for interrupting. You know when Sonic gets the Chaos Emeralds? He goes exactly like fucking, what's his name?
Goku.
Yeah, when he's fucking
going
something
crazier.
Go on, hit me.
7 Chaos Emeralds, 7 Dragon Balls.
Holy fucking shit, man! Holy shit!
Yeah.
Oh my god! It has to be tied in.
It is.
Is it? Is this official?
And also, Shadow the Hedgehog is just Vegeta.
Oh man! Holy fuck! That's so cool.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh my God.
Crazy.
There has to be.
I think there is. Somewhere. I remember reading somewhere. I think that there was like obvious, definite influence of Dragon Ball on Sonic
cool,
in that way with it.
Oh fuck!
Because like Super Sonic for me, man. Like you want to talk about a time my serotonin peaked in my life? It was Shadow and Sonic coming together in Sonic Adventure 2 with the 7 Chaos Emeralds. Them turning Super Saiyan and blasting in the background is Crush 40's "Live and Learn," hanging on the edge of tomorrow. And like that story gets fucking deep, man. So
Yeah.
there's the whole prospect is that Dr. Robotnik is trying to find out about his grandfather Gerald Robotnik's plot, that he had this like moon base built and it would destroy the world. And basically he starts unlocking it, but it turns out Gerald Robotnik was so psychotic that he was actually like even fucked over Robotnik, and he was like, oh shit, we actually have to stop this because everyone's going to die, including me or whatever.
No way.
And then there's this whole thing, Shadow is created as the ultimate life form, and
Right.
it's this like absolute crazy thing about Gerald Robotnik's granddaughter, which I don't know how that even makes sense or something. And there's one called Maria, and it goes all epic, it goes all melodrama, because Sonic was in that melodrama stage of edgelord, you know. And that's playing, they kill it, and fucking spoiler warnings for Sonic Adventure 2, but it really, just to let you know, just in case, canonically Sonic doesn't make a fucking lick of sense, so it doesn't really matter. Shadow dies at the end of it, saving the world, and it's like,
what?
Yeah, it's crazy. But then he's just back in the next game for no reason. We don't really understand that yet. So, you know, nothing has permanent interest in it. That game, man. And then, of course, you know, Amy, I just shaved my puss.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Sonic. But the music for me in the Sonic games, and I've said this in previous episodes, is like top tier for me. Like top tier. Crush 40 in the Sonic Adventure games. Even Chemical Plant Zone as a tune in the original Sonic 2.
Yeah.
It's like so good. I don't know if you know it off the top of your head, do you?
I'm fairly sure I can hear it in my head, man. The music is so iconic. Like even Green Hill Zone, man. The fucking music from Green Hill Zone.
I would love, actually, and we might look into this, it's just a thought that popped into my head, is if, do you know the way we're recording our voices?
Yeah.
It would be lovely if like it could just record whatever my desktop audio is doing too, so I can just play the song in the moment, and you know, we can just listen to it. So we, or any videos or any old retro ads, you know, if there's any Sonic 90 stuff, we can just pop it in straight away live in the moment.
Yeah, we should look at it.
There's got to definitely be a way to do that, because I'd love to be able to play these things for you to, and also bring everyone into that place and time.
Yeah, man.
So Sonic, I'm thinking the comics, I'm thinking the cartoon, I'm thinking the video games. We haven't talked about the live action movies. We haven't talked about the animated movie cartoons, Sonic Boom. Yeah, there was some really good like movies, Sonic Boom and stuff like that.
Movies? No way.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Really? Yeah.
And do you ever hear this song? Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom, racing through the dun dun dun, Sonic Boom. Again, if I could play it for you right now, it would be beautiful.
It seems familiar, man. What the fuck does movie? I thought the only movies were the new ones.
Live action.
Yeah.
No, there was some animated. I have it on DVD.
Oh man, I'll have to look that up after.
Yeah. I used to go into this shop, which is like a nice little funny nostalgic story, a place called Other Realms in Cork.
Deadly.
So my dad, we used to go in there every like week. Remember I was telling you the story last week where we used to go to town and get the cards. That's where I used to get the Dragon Ball Z cards. But they had like the DVDs and they were like 40 quid a go for like, and you didn't know what you were getting. But I loved anime, you know, I was like, I like whatever. So if I was ever able to buy one, and they were in the wrong region as well, they were all imports. So I had a mini DVD player that would play American DVDs or whatever. So, you know, because they were all the wrong region. They were like, there was no, like, I can't tell you the difference between growing up and not being able to get anything Dragon Ball or anything Sonic a little bit easier, but nothing. And now you'll find it in pennies. Do you know what I mean? Like, as in crazy, how much the culture around anime and video games has changed, where it's just like, I would have given all my Christmas presents to have one tiny Goku toy. Like, literally, I would have. Do you know what I mean? I would have given my N64. I would have given everything at the time, do you know, when you wanted it. So I used to go into Other Realms. It still exists, but it's a very much so a shell of what it once was, do you know?
Right.
What
kind of a shop is it? Is it a video game shop, a comic shop? Or what?
No, it was like it blew my mind when I first saw it. It was kind of like an anime shop, with the best way to describe it. Okay. So it had art books from my favorite animes, but I would go in there, me and John as well would go in and would just pick a DVD. Yeah. Like we found some animes that we started by just picking, and it comes back to this idea again of almost going into a video rental store, but with way more stakes. All your money on one DVD that you know nothing about.
Fucking euro or something.
Yeah, because you're obsessed with the idea of anime and you want to know what it is. And one of them was a Sonic movie, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'll go with this." And
is it dark? Like, sorry, what's the movie like?
No, it wasn't dark, but it was well animated. Like it was like, you know, the way you were showing me those ads of Mario Kart 64. Yeah. Like it's not as good as that, because that's a small snippet of something, but like it has that nice retro animation, very nicely hand drawn, very skillfully done. Kind of like Street Fighter the movie and stuff like that as well. It's just
man, you know, I remember years ago going trying to find. I remember watching Street Fighter, the animated movie, like on VHS, and then years later, say like in my late teens, early 20s, I wanted to find it, but I didn't have the internet or whatever. I couldn't just look it up. And I remember going into Empire Records in town, and upstairs they had a huge DVD section, man, and I found it on DVD, and it was, I'm fairly sure it was like fucking $39.99.
Yeah.
For the animated movie, and I was like, what the fuck? There's no fucking way I'm spending that much money on the movie. It's
all
fucking
imports.
And I actually, you're talking about your life kind of circle around. You're watching Buffy now, man. I have it on fucking VHS. It's one of the first videos I got recently, and it's a thing of beauty, man.
But like, I am like I'm not a purist, I'm not a gatekeeper, not at all. But like, when it comes to my love for animation and hand-drawn stuff, like I lose my mind when I like watch the Street Fighter movie, and there's some of those fight scenes and the choreography and the way you think about someone is designed. Like, there's that Chun-Li Vega fight where they're in the like hotel room and like the lights coming in from the moon. They're doing all these things, fighting over it, like so that, good. Like, and it's a very adult movie.
Of course, yeah, it is, yeah.
You know absolutely. What I mean? But like, I used to pause frame by frame in Dragon Ball episodes, still do to this day. Like, sometimes my cousin would come over and we'll watch like because the animation in those shows can dip really, really low to really, really high, because it depends how much budget and how much time they had to work on and how unmodeled characters were. But man, just like that nostalgia going into other realms, picking like an animated DVD, and like that's how, like, did you remember Toonami? It was after Cartoon Network. So Cartoon Network would go on, and then it changed into Toonami.
No.
There's fucking episodes to be talked about that, and I don't have time to talk about it, but like, there's such a like, there used to be Cowboy Bebop on that. There used to be a show called Outlaw Star. So Cartoon Network were turned into like the adult cartoons past 10 o'clock.
Right. Fucking Ren and Stimpy and that kind of shit.
No, it was definitely more in the anime sector. It was more, it was more Eastern than Western stuff would be played. There was stuff like there was some like funny like Western like cartoon. What was that swimsuit something or I don't know. But yeah, sorry, a little bit sidetracked there. But those kind of memories of going in, taking a risk on a DVD like that, going home and watching it, like, such good memories, man.
And is the movie good? Is the movie good? Do you remember the Sonic movie?
Like, it's a bit vague in my brain. I think it might be a little bit like kiddie. Naturally, it's fucking Sonic the Hedgehog. But I think it's probably worth it. I think it's worth the look up. If I can find it for you, I'll let you know.
I know there's a new season or Sonic season on Netflix. There's a couple of ones. And did you see
Sonic Prime on Netflix, which I think is hilarious considering you think that would be on Amazon Prime or something.
Yeah. But did you see, Jacksepticeye? Obviously, Jacksepticeye. His voice is one of the characters in Sonic.
That's fucking dream stuff.
Yeah, like, imagine, like, fucking hell, man. Like,
what is he, like an Irish something, or does he manage to get rid of his accent?
I haven't actually seen it, but I've seen. I saw him announce, and plays one of the characters. Like, how fucking cool is that, man? Like, you just love to see, like, he's just a fucking video game nerd, fucking playing video games, to being in fucking Sonic, the TV show, man. Like, it's shit like that, man, is just so fucking cool, isn't it? Like, when you see people start from something small and just work their fucking way up, and it just fucking,
which gets harder and harder to do every day. There's almost like that prime time, like, if you think about when YouTube was conceptualized and you got to play games there, if you're one of the first people to come in that, it almost doesn't matter if you were a plank of wood, you would have done well, because that was not done before,
yeah.
And then I think about doing my own Let's Plays in my bedroom with Resident Evil 4 with the camera, and you're like, God, why?
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts, man. Yes, Sonic, man, like, as in, you can't underestimate. Like, I genuinely think, in terms of obsessiveness, there's more people, I think more people like Mario as a whole, as a universal, like, there's more people obsessed about the lore and Sonic and his character, even when you go into, like, even the way he's sexual. And now, obviously, there's plenty of erotic fan fiction about Mario too, but like there's just so much layers to, like, they're for the obsessiveness of Sonic.
Would you say?
Like, I mean, a cult following makes it feel like it's a limited one, but like, people will die on the Sonic Hill, like, even the bad games, like, it's there's like this unconditional love is the only thing I can call it for Sonic.
Right.
That I feel like, because I think Mario is a bit more of an everyman character, where Sonic has like, people. I want to do a really funny thing right now.
Okay.
Okay. This is going to be hard for your name, right? But if you type in your name and do this at home, all you're going to do is type in your name and the Hedgehog afterwards, and I guarantee you someone's made a fan art with your name
Fucking
and
not my
Hedgehog
name.
afterwards.
No fucking way.
Nisha, it's going to be hard, but okay, let's try this
Would
together.
you Google my name and see? Because
I will.
don't
I
have
will.
my
I will.
phone
I will.
here now.
I
I
will.
fucked it away.
Nisha the Hedgehog. Let's see what we get in here.
No
Dude, I'm gonna fucking. I'm gonna.
way, man.
Oh, we should use this as the cover if it works.
There's not
Nisha
a
the
fucking
Hedgehog.
hope.
Oh my god! When I type in Nisha the Hedgehog, you actually come up that picture of you with the pint of Guinness.
No way, does it?
Yeah.
That's
I
pretty
swear to God,
cool.
that's pretty funny. I guess Nisha is such a rare name.
But like, to be fair, Nisha is a very rare name. It's not a fucking Irish name. So
let me type in Keith the Hedgehog here. Okay, Keith the Hedgehog. Listen to this. Comes up straight away.
Yeah,
I look like Shadow. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, go on, hit me.
Oh my dude, this is insane. I wish I could show it to you. Okay, actually, if we were anyway, like we're on the internet, I should be.
Hold on, I'm gonna get my phone. Hold on.
Yeah, wait now. So what I'm gonna do, right?
I'm searching now. Keith the Hedgehog. Yeah.
Yeah, the first thing that will come up, you'll have a look at it there. You just look at the art, and I have I'm a katana wielding person, right?
Glorious fucking emo hair.
So let me read this out to you. So it's Keith the Hedgehog, known as the Reaper. I'm going to read a little bit ahead because normally these get ridiculously wrongly dark too soon. Okay, age 17. I'm 140 pounds with outfit and weapons in brackets. This is how much people think about this. You've no idea. Yeah. Height, 5 foot, 10.5 inches. Very close to my actual height, 5'11". Religion, none. Lives by the blade. Yes, personality, rebel. Quiet. It says it's I think meant quiet, but it's spelled quiet. Dark, cold, serious, but sometimes not.
That is nothing like you.
Oh my god. Family, dead father, souls trapped in blade. Okay, so his dad is in his katana. Likes breaking rules, cutting things, killing. Dislikes rules, bright lights, preppy hedgehogs, trolls Justin Bieber.
Why Justin Bieber? What's wrong with you?
Fucking hell. You know the way this goes, man. They're all jealous of his swag.
Oh, yeah.
Powers, super speed, super smart, cuts good. Accuracy, super strong. Okay, weapons, katana blade, named Reaper. Silver .45 pistol. Friends, none. In all caps. His blade Reaper, father's trap souls, enemies. Do you know what knows under the enemies category? It just says all dead.
Oh, you badass motherfucker.
Okay, now so we have a bio. Born of a vampire mother and a vampire hunter father, Keith killed his mother.
Oh Jesus!
At the tender age of 10, after she ate his dad.
Fucking.
This is a Dr. Phil Jeremy Kyle fucking showing it happen. Left all alone, hunts the monster of the night. He doesn't get along well with others, often threatening, in quote marks, "I will kill you," to people around him. I mean, after the traumatic upbringing of seeing his mother eat his father, that would probably happen.
Rough. That's pretty rough.
He's too fast. And I don't know what the fuck that says. And so people are jealous of him. Dude, did you know how much of the personality of the person who wrote this is in this?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, imagine, that age of like not having friends, being alone, like, right? I don't mean to make this too real. Do you know what I mean? But it's so funny.
Fucking age, man.
Oh, it's beautiful, man.
That's like, I love the fact that somebody has made that and like they have that passion, you know what I mean? They have that love for fucking Sonic.
Listen to this last line though, if you want a bit of a hope in it. He knows his cruel fate and yet fights on. Give a round of applause on in there, baby. That's listen for a day after a day on in there.
That is fucking, man. I love that shit. Like I know we were talking about the Sonic fan fiction, which is a pretty.
I will read one paragraph of that, but I feel like we were getting so much what we were doing. I didn't want to.
I said it's pretty.
Sorry, what? Sorry, can I hold on? Did Nisha just say that reading the Sonic erotic fan fiction was pretty arousing? No cap, for real. In all sincerity, you are kind of rotten.
Oh man, why did I say that?
I swear to God, if you edit that out, I will leave the podcast.
I won't. I meant to say it's confusingly arousing. Don't know if that's even worse.
That's definitely not any better or worse.
But man, hold on. I love the fact that somebody. I can't believe I said it was arousing. Oh my God.
Dude, put that on. Can we?
A furry.
I am, dude. You are a furry.
Not that I have
one.
anything against it.
Okay. I can debunk this because I've had these conversations. Everyone's a furry, right? Hear me out.
Right.
Lola the bunny from Space Jam.
Fuck, maybe I am a furry.
You're at least okay. Jessica the rabbit.
God.
Well, she's kind
damn.
of human, actually. Yeah.
Oh, she
So
is.
there's okay.
Roger Rabbit.
You probably saw someone on Avatar that you probably were on in there. You're there's like I mean I was thinking about it, I was watching My Hero. There's this character called Mirko. She's thick thighs saves lives, like really hot, really into the thick thighs stuff. I want my head crushed like a melon between her thighs. Do you know what I mean? You know, and she just has rabbit ears and a bunny tail. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm okay with that.
Man, Fran in Final Fantasy 12, I think it is.
Dude, you're a furry.
Oh shit, I am.
Everyone thinks this, right? Everyone's like, I'm not a furry, but everyone's like, what I am is I'm 10% furry, 90% human. If it kind of crosses past the 10, like if we're talking like a mermaid body and then like a horse face, I'm kind of a bit gone out of it. You know what I mean? But as long as it retains 90% human characteristics, I'm pretty much there.
Fuck, we've just done our own furry fan fiction there, man. This is a realization here.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? Actually,
how many people agree? Are they like?
Okay, can we do a poll which is like based on this? I don't want to say are you a furry, right? Because I think it's too much. It's too challenging too quickly in the face of people who haven't thought about it themselves. But can we maybe put in it's like, you know, let's give a character that has those features. Maybe Lola the bunny. Maybe someone's like, did you have a little awakening when watching this Once Upon a Time? Dude, I mean, if there was floating tits flying through the air, you'd be fucking on it like a gust of wind. So do you know what I mean?
It's like a gust of wind. Oh fucking hell, man. But yeah, sorry, I do love the fact that somebody's making that, like, you know, they're making themselves into a Sonic character. I love when people have that passion about something, they get into it, and
but that's it,
cool,
right? Yeah,
it's fun, and they're drawing it. Like, I can remember drawing Sonic all the time when I was a kid, man. I can remember like drawing out like levels of Super Mario levels, like on paper, and drawing Sonic levels and drawing Sonic the Hedgehog. And it's fucking cool, man. And it's great. You know what you were saying, like, so back in the day, it used to be difficult to get into anime, say, to find anime stuff for video games. I remember there was that whole fucking thing about, oh, you're a fucking nerd, or a gamer.
Yeah.
You'd be embarrassed almost. And now
a
like,
nerd is like pop culture cool.
Yeah, I'm like, man, I work.
We got railed in school, like.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, and like, I worked on building sites for a while, which can be a kind of a misogynistic place at times. And, you know, like, everyone just wants to talk about football, and that's cool. That's what they're into. And I can remember as a kid, I wouldn't have the what would you say like bravery to be like, oh, I don't like football, I like video games. And now if someone says it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm a big fucking nerd, man. Fucking love video games. I love it. Play them all the time.
100%.
Don't like football. Shit to me. It's not. I've nothing against it. It's not for fucking me. It's like it's great to be able to be fucking like talk about the things you enjoy and things you love with, you know, and be proud.
But I mean, and that's the hard thing, because like I said this before, that like, you know, when you're a teenager, being like the same and being loyal in a pack is celebrated. Well, in our time it was. I actually think generations and times have changed a little bit, and I think people are, you know, more celebrated to be who they want to be, which is a great thing.
Absolutely.
But like, I remember pretending to be a different person to fit in for so much of my fucking like life growing up. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like, and pretending to be a different person is a bit extreme, but like there'd be social scenarios where I would always like totally tone down, or you know, you pretend to be into something you're not really into. Yeah. You know, there's all those different things.
Football was the big thing for me.
Yeah. Like I remember like watching matches just so I'd be able to fucking nearly talk about them in some capacity. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I think, and then when you get older, once you're comfortable in yourself, like you just don't give a fuck. And plus, when you're older, anyway, uniqueness is celebrated. And not that any young kid should be listening to this, but just in case you are, always fucking like just fucking stick it out, man, and I fucking guarantee you, like whatever's deemed to be fucking like, like what are you doing, will probably be what makes you your fucking millions in another few years, because you ended up spending your time being passionate about something. That person who did the Keith the Hedgehog could be an animator for a TV show now, for all I know. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's that kind of thing, and you don't get anywhere without trying some of that stuff. Do you know? Now, I had a good idea for our question this week.
Right.
I would like everyone who's listening to type in your first name and the hedgehog afterwards, and copy and paste your results into the chat so we can read out some of the funniest ones.
Deadly. Oh, that'd be so cool, man. That'd be so cool. Jesus, we went fucking deep there, didn't we?
We did. Huh? We did. Isn't it funny when you start talking? And it was funny because I was talking to, which I'm actually going to announce right now. I was talking to Mary Majora. who will be first of all, we were chatting and I was like saying, I don't know what we're going to talk about, because I was just streaming, so I was just thinking out loud, I knew I had to do this afterwards. He's like, don't even worry about it. By the time you two start talking, you won't stop talking about something completely random or like off the walls anyway, so you get on so well, you'll be fine. But I can announce officially that and a lot of people who listen to this podcast may or may not know, but Mary Majora, aka Mary just, will be joining us as our very first guest.
Yes, yeah.
Very first guest in our podcast. Twitch streamer extraordinaire, Zelda lover, Banjo-Kazooie lover. And she said something to me today, which I thought was interesting. She's collecting all the games to bring with her for the podcast so she can look at them when she's talking like you do.
Yes, Mary. Yes.
So that would be a fun one. That would be our first time having a guest.
I can't wait, man. It'd be very different.
It will be. But I think we've have a really good blueprint of the episodes we've already made as almost topics in of themselves for short questions. You know what I mean? So I'm really looking forward to knowing, what are the earliest gaming memories. I'm looking forward to knowing what would your top few games be. You know what I mean? I'm like all that kind of stuff. I'm like, I don't know what other ones. What retro rumors do you remember? And then also talking about who Mary is as a person. What they do. What how they got to be where they be.
I'm really looking forward to it, man. Really looking forward to it.
Now there's two things. Are we in the wrapping zone?
Yeah. I think we're kind of ready to wrap it up and roll it down and bring it down to the family fiction zone.
All right, we will. Okay,
it's about
so
to get dirty.
It is. So what I was thinking of doing is to finish off the episode. I was just going to read a paragraph from the fan fiction and just leave it fade off. Just leave it. Just read it.
Hold on. What about the responses from our video?
I'm going to do them first.
Oh, you're a fucking beautiful man, Keith.
You know what?
I fucking love you, man.
All right, we got what was the name of your local rental store from last week's episode?
Love it.
We got from Christopher, Bayshore Mall Video, which sounds very America.
Yeah, Chris is American.
Yeah, Bayshore Mall Video, where I rented my very first game. I was 9. It was Sesame Street game for the NES, baby.
Cool.
I was too old for it, but it was literally the last game available. It was in total heaven. That's brilliant, man. To be the last game available shows how popular it was at like the time and place. Do you know what I mean?
Love it, Chris.
We got Shti Jordan.
Oh, cool. One of my best friends.
Same as Nisha. The counter in Advance Vision was huge. I remember renting Donkey Kong Country SNES so many times, it would have been cheaper to buy it.
Yeah, I remember.
Vision never gave it to us for free. The bastards. You think they'd leave you go?
Fuckers.
We got Cahill as well, who says there was a guy... There was a guy that used to drive a van and rent VHS tapes, NES games, etc. in Port Marnock.
Port Marnock, yeah.
Port Marnock. His name was Pooby. Pooby! Oh my god.
So that's like actually, the guy who used to drive into my estate. That's pretty weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it was funny as well because Sam told me, he's like, did you not have that? My friend Sam, did you not have a guy who used to try and rent you shit out of the back of his car? He's like, no. Yeah. And he had it too, apparently.
That's mad because someone else, Daryl Triff and Flip, he messaged me the other day saying that he had somebody renting out the back of the van. So that must have been like common practice.
I guess so.
Fucking mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of wild. See, I didn't live in an estate, so I feel like, you have there's no way you can kind of like just call to a house randomly.
Yeah.
Ben said Bernie's video store in Waterford. They are family friends too. Very cool.
Nice.
They closed and moved house. They gave away / dumped all the rental VHS tapes.
Oh my god! Wait, gave them to Ben? Gave them to him?
I don't think
away.
So. Let me read the rest of it. So imagine you would have been in heaven, man. You could have like 1,000 VHSs.
Fuck.
They were sacks filled. I took about 2 to 3 tapes in all. Sad face. I think probably feeling a little bit of the regrets afterwards. That's fucking wild.
You should see Ben's video collection, man. It's fucking ridiculous. It's actually what inspired me to get into VHS. Fucking hell, man. But here we go. Here we go.
Okay.
It's about to get dirty.
Fuck me. I'm going to turn on the echo for this. Will I turn it on? I'm going to put on an echo on my reading voice. Okay. We're going to fade off with this. This may have to be cut out. We'll find out in the grand scheme of things.
If not, goodbye.
Sonic chuckled and kissed Shadow again. I asked if I could put it in. He then gestured to his throbbing erection. It already dripping with pre-cum. Shadow blushed once. He looked at it and turned away, Sonic sighing in slight impatience and sitting up, his cock now fully visible. And he wasn't one bit ashamed of it. As you should not be. You should never be ashamed of it. Shadow pushed himself up on his elbows, staring at the other as he thought hastily. He sighed once he got an idea, and the other ears pricked up and listened to the darker hedgehog's answer. No, not yet. Sonic eyebrows rose once again at the not yet part, and Shadow continued, I have an idea. I may not be ready, but doing this might emphasize my hormones so that we can get started. Shadow air quoted as he got onto his knees and pushed Sonic down by his chest so that he was now lying down. Sonic didn't resist, for he was eager to find out what Shadow was planning. He watched as Shadow put his arms on either side of his hips and lowered his head in between his legs. Sonic's eyes widened now, understanding what was going on. He could feel the other's hot breath on his prick, making it twitch. Shadow watched as Sonic propped himself up from his elbows to watch him, his eyes half-lidded and a knowing smirk on his face. Shadow blushed and returned to his eyes to the twitching organ in front of him. He gave the tip a soft lick, and he heard the other gasp slightly in response. He smirked and took it into his mouth, and then slowly started to take the whole thing. And making himself almost gag, he started bobbing his head. That's as far as we're going to go for today. But thank you for enjoying this podcast. This is what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. There's no need. This is just two hedgehogs in love. It's just biology. It's what you've done on a night out. It's what we've done in love and marriage and lust. You just got to feel it deep in your plums, guys. Thank you for being here today. How are you feeling, Nisha? That is a broken man's laugh, if I ever heard it, to be honest.
I can't.
Bye!
Bye.